A messenger arrives from Corinth. The messenger informs Oedipus that his father is dead. Dum 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 dum. Oedipus rejoices!
Yeah!
For a prophecy sent down by the mighty oracle at Delphi that he would kill his father and sleep with his mother has now proved itself false. Wrong, says the messenger.
You were adopted.
No!
And I know just the shepherd who can prove it. Oedipus, you have killed your father and are sleeping with your mother.
Dun, dun, dun!
Suddenly, Queen Yocasta, realizing that the prophecy has come true, hangs herself.
No!
Oedipus takes the brooch from his dead wife's breast, sticks the sharp pin into both of his eyes. Now blinded, he leaves Thebes forever, banished by his own decree. So long, farewell, I'll leave you to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Greek by Steven Berkoff.
So, I was spawned in Tottenham Park. That is more than a stone's throw from the Angel, a monkey's fart from Tottenham, or a multiplan from Stamford Hill. It's a cesspit, right? It is a scumhole, dense with the drabs who prop up corner pubs, the kind of pubs where ye old assholes assemble, the boring turds who say for Christmas with clubs. My mum does that. She says all year for a staggy Christmas party of boozy old relatives in Marks and Sparks cardigans who stand all year doing as little as they can while they had one hand in the boss's till and the other scratching their balls. They would all come over and they would vomit up Guinness and Mom's unspeakable excuse for cuisine all over the bathroom, adjust their dentures, rage against the blacks, envy in their cocks, loathe the yids, envy in their guilt, hate everything that walks under 30, and fall asleep in front of the telly. And they would gather in the pubs, usually a smelly corner pub, run by a rancid, thick-as-pig shit Paddy, who sold nothing but booze and crisps in various chemical flavors to their yokel patrons, who played incessant games of cruddy darts, drinking yards of stale Nat's piss beer, and chatting like, see Arsenal last week? Oh, I think England's team is all stuff. Well, what about the way you've driven? Oh, no, he loved his photo, there they are. The stink of the pub rises. Oafs. They sit in the corner, staring out into the dreams they never had, the drip of snot hanging off the ends of their noses, and trying to make a pint last for 4 hours. So it's crowded up now, and the Paddy starts making fucking time and pulling the glass out of your hand while he is bursting your eardrum, screaming like a sergeant major. His wife attempts to shovel some paint on an evil, hate-old face, which looks as if it's been applied by a drunken epileptic on a roller coaster. Hello, love, she foams, staring out of a little yellow face with snot-brown eyes like 2 raisins in hot porridge. And if by chance you lean over the bar too far, some bastard monster cunt Alsatian leaps at you, dripping fangs simply dying to rip your fucking throat out. So I gave up going to the corner pubs with their late night chorus alleging good night and see you till. We have got wine bars now. Handsome, that's much better. Sit down. Half a bottle of Chateau. bollinger, some pate, salad, served by a chick who looks as if she has been fresh frozen. She smiles at you, and your heart leaps into your throat, and you carry a demon between your thighs. So I go to my wine bar, laced in the smells of the promise of sex, the way you wouldn't believe. So, anyway, one day, my dad calls me in the kitchen.
Come in, son,
He says,
I want to chat to you. Or we could go down the corner to the pub. I'll buy you a drink.
"No, not that pub!" I yelp in real and unfeigned terror. "I'll throw some tea on the pot instead." Mum is out. The Daily Mirror crossword is half finished. There's an egg on the tips of the center page spread. Well, it is a big brody, but it's homely in a sickly sort of way. I mean, if you're not used to anything better. It's not like the interior of a Zen temple, but it's cozy. A few crumbs on the carpet, some evil photos of my sister on the mantelpiece, and a picture of Granny looking like Mussolini in drag, as they all look like in those far-off days of prehistory. The poodle has shit again behind the cocktail cabinet. Your bacon rinds it stinking in the pan, and the room wrenches of lard. I make Dad a cuppa. Mum is at bingo, and Sis is meditating in the bedroom on the squeezing out of some juicy blackheads. Her own knickers lie sunny side up, the way she always left them for Mum to scoop up, while I wouldn't have touched them except with those pincers that they use to pick up radium behind thick walls. So, we sit down, and Dad confesses this story to me. He pulls out a bag, and he sits there with his flies half undone and the edge of his bag ready to drop all over his shirt. I try not to look at him. I try to occupy my thoughts, but the lady stand kept it. I stare out the window, and I see the gray clouds of Tottenham stray across the window pane. A tiny sliver of sun is struggling to peek through. Sees what it has to shine on, thinks fucking isn't worth it, and beats a retreat. So, Dad says,
Look here, son.
"Yes, Dad," I says, clocking his work-raped face, his tasteless, shit-heap, Burton ready-made trousers, and his deadly drip-dry shirt that requires BO faster than shit attracts flies. I clock all of this fusion of rubbish, and I say, "Yes, Dad, what do you want to chat about?" I mean, never hearing much else out of his golf, and send the darkies back to the jungle, and Hitler got the trains running on time. Got a lot of Nazi lovers on the British down and out. Lazy bastards wonder why at the end of a life of skiving and strikes, moisture down the road copped a few bob, or why the Cyprians had a big store full of goodies, not that pathetic shit you down our street. So, that does not come out with any of this fascist bullshit, which relieves me, since a front of full of deads like this. Yeah, Dad, I says, what is on your box? His face squeezes up like it's hard to say. Like one of those old ads for Ivory's lemon squash showing that screwed up lemon. And he comes out with,
If you were a nipper, we went to a gypsy. A fortune, a bit of a giggle, a laugh, don't laugh, a caper, what else? Spent the tosseroon on a bit of a frill. Don't talk to me about frill. So in we went. The gypsy asked,
Have you a son?
I have. I says, I mean, who don't have a son?
I see a violent death for this son's fault.
But oh, Miss Dad, come on, Bit. Don't get all dramatic. We get on like houses blazing.
I see something worse than death, and that's a bunk up with his mum.
I'll give you a backhand now. You're having me on. You've been smoking them African wood pines.
No, I see it. And what I see. So don't pay me. Just go. Leave my tent. Keep your gelt.
Your mum was as white as Purcell, as yellow as a Chinaman with jaundice. Of course, we took no notice. Forgot about it, like. Waited till you got to be a bloke, and then one day I says, Dinah! You remember that donkey in the fair who came out with with all that filth about Eddie? One morning, just lying there in bed, redigesting some bits of past and sucking still the flavors, some juicy memories.
Not many.
Of tiny slips.
Not many. I nearly dropped Doreen, with whom I was 6 months pregnant then. Oh, funny times.
Well, I say, that same pair is back in town, the same firm, 15 years later. Let's go down and see that geezer and tell that orange gypsy what a lot of old bullocks, huh? How she upset me, missus, with a pack of dirty lies. So off we went. Doubted somehow that she'd still be there, since she was pushing 60 then. We didn't know. We waited our turn. It was the same name. Have your future read. Fantony's Magic Crystal Gate. Shall we go in?
Do you think we should?
Well, why not? It's now or never. We went pale a bit, but in we marched. Same old schmutter on the table, the bees we walked through, and the bit of old glass. And no, we're there. So I says, where's the old geezer that we once talked to, whose handle now you see found?
My late old lady. 5 years ago, she uttered a last and fell off the perch, but taught me the trade, imbued her vision in me. I got her powers now, so don't you fret. She did right by you. Donate a quid, now do your best.
So, yeah. Come on, and I sat down just like before. The years, they shrank away. Just like an oak fell out of the earth and time and space had faded away. We seemed then to have hurtled back those 15 years in that small tent. And like the tent seemed small, like a trap. And suddenly, off, and up and outside, just quiet, but her face. Her face was getting all twisted up, just like a mole. And her mouth was all white and tight, like an earthquake was going on inside her nut. And her lips were straining against it coming out. Dinah sussed, but next we waited. Don't tell me, I says. You see, a son of mine. Her eyes looked up at me. No word, just that look in her tight mouth, like she was holding back something worse than vomit. And you see something worse, I says, like a nasty accident, perhaps. She nodded, parted her lips just enough to allow the word death, which she hadn't the guts to sound. She then stared hard at Dinah, but we had enough and had not wanted to hear the other half, but fled. I turned, snatched the quid back from the table. They don't want. It just seemed to say, like, taking back the guilt that it couldn't happen. Her eyes looked like pity. Like the sweet picture getting the woolies of those kids with the tears just right in front. I know it's just a fun fair, a laugh, a bit of a giggle. What do you make of it, son? You don't fancy your old mum, do you, son? You don't want to kill me, do you, boy?
No! Leave off, you two!
Doreen!
Oh, Mummy! Mummy, Mummy, Mummy!
His face hung there like a soggy, worn-out testicle. Mouth open and his eyes like carrier bags. Fancy my mom? Well, I could sooner go down on Hitler than do anything my old man so bravely feared. No, Dad. But all this aggro and old wives' tale seems to have gone and put you in a tease. I'll leave home. Split in Scotland. Central line goes far these days, and that's the foreign line. I'll piss off tomorrow. I needed to escape this cruddy flat, and this excuse, it seemed as good as any. Ta-ta, Ma and Pa. My mom looked sad. Her spotty apron wrapped around her like a flag of womanhood. I never saw her out of it, always standing like some donkey slave behind Dad and me and Sis.
Bung us the toast.
Where's the jam?
Pig, more tea, love.
Bung us the toast.
Where's the jam?
Pig, more tea, love.
Yeah, I'll have some more.
More taters, love.
I'm on a diet, Mom.
More cake, love.
Ah, Mum, I had 6 slices.
Oh, go on, have some more.
I don't want any more, you rented out brute!
Hey.
I would spray affectionately.
Oh, you don't love more cake.
She would simper. All right, bung us another slice and I will wedge it down with a mug of tea to slop it up with. And she gazes on us with moist eyes, on all of us, slurping like fat pigs in a trough. We'd leave a rug-filled table. But is washing up. How well she did that washing up. Dad is picking out losers in the worn-out armchair. Sis is fitting in her cat for the night's activity, cussing and swearing as she struggles with it.
Fuck it.
Mom sits in front of the box, watching some dozy cretin, giggling in her glee. Her legs are like a patchwork quilt from hogging the electric fire. While I was in my little room, thought and dreaming of ruling the world. Take a Charles Atlas coast, wondering if the Queen gets it on. So in my little room, I plotted, smoked, played Stan Kenton, and wanked with Mum's cooking oil. Now no more will I escape my little domain. So, all in a flash, these thoughts slinked like maggots through my bonds, as I waved my goodbyes to the fast diminishing figures of my mum and dad, went together in the distance like mold on cheese. My dad was no, never mad about it. As I reached the end of the road, I could only see the apron and lost the figure. That apron stayed in my mind the longest. When my old lady went to the happy hunting ground, I would frame that apron.
Take good care of yourself.
Don't forget to ride.
Got your photo.
Be a good boy.
Send us some money.
Miss you.
Love you.
Oh, the toast is burned.
Saw by the other day.
Neighbours don't complain.
And Matilda's had 6 kittens.
My smokes.
Have you seen the cooking oil?
I miss our little
Oh,
Ed.
our lead fair. Stripes up and down the country.
The city sits in a heap of shit.
Above collected garbage everywhere.
And the heat waves turn it all to slime. And filthy germs hang thickly in the air. The rats are on the march.
Transport sits idly at the doors. Where workers might go about and for an FP drive may let you have your avocado or Dutch cabbage. Petrol's obsolete as thousands of rusting cars lay swilling up our streets to vital services like ambulances, which take a month to get from place to place.
The country's in a state of play, while parties of all shades battle for power to sort the shit from the Shinola. The Marxists and the Workers' Party call for violence to put an end to violence. The fag libs are holding violent demos to be able to give Ed in the public park when the garbage strike is over, and not to be persecuted for screwing on the top deck of buses. Wanking is not a town in China, but an alternative to the filthy men-female party creed.
Forbes Catering is resisting the staff's demands to be paid wages and is recruiting workers from the jungles of South America.
And yet also strongly resisting the need to clear out the rats, for which they are duly famous.
Meanwhile, the rats head down Edgware Road over to Oxford Street, prepared to turn right onto Bolt Street.
They march across Piccadilly, avoiding Soho, where the food is dangerous even for rats. Over-fat rats, not sleek for battle, but just good germ carriers with rotten teeth. And across Waterloo Bridge and onto the National Theatre to wake the theatre rats who've been long in coma from a deadly attack of nightly brainwash.
Those that can be woken will begin the number 2 division. Streak up Drury Lane, O2, holding on to King's Cross.
Avoiding the carcasses of rotting football stumps, who lie swollen and putrefying in the streets. Those that missed the train and died while waiting for the next one. Their flesh is deadly. The rats come marching in.
Maggot! Daddy Scratcher, that is our only outlaw.
If we only had more maggots to sort through this stinking wood pile. But how will poor Ed manage in all this?
The shit has hit the fan as if from a great height. Sirens, like wailing banshees, tear along the garbage-filled London streets, chock full of close-shaved men with teeth hate-clenched and fists all hungry for their daily exercise. The Scotties, they line the curb face down in vomit, which swishes down the rat-infested gutters, and sing a lurchy tune or two about owning some pox-ridden scabby called Glasgow when they don't own a pot to piss in. And then one blue-eyed bobby lays a scullified, well-aimed son wide open. Crash, splatter, shatter. Take out your tongue and get shut up, crash. The whores descend, and then they drain their filthy wallets with a con of buck. And as the jock steps inside for fantasies of London pussy, crack, a villain, hard-faced, doth distribute a bit of sense with bars of iron. So on they go. The foul, ignoble mob. They watch the match the wrong way round, so pissed as newts, and then they stagger into Euston Station, driven by a blind sense of instinct or smell, to join their fellow tartans on the journey back. Hey, had a lovely time. Meanwhile, I walked our silver London streets. When what do I espy? The fucking shit McDougal and his patties from Belfast. Raring to blow up anything that moves. Thick-eared, with hands like bunches of bananas. Their voices from afar are like a pack of baying hounds. They were an army dressed in blue eyes and liquid gelignite stuffed in their macs. Bombs concealed in innocent sandwich bags. Armpits concealing stinking sweaty guns, ready to blow some other son's head off and spray the dusty strand with thick, rich ruby, knock the legs off some poor cunt who happened to be hanging about, or take out some chick who, God forbid, should be some sweet of mine. And then they all get stinking in their pots, and they roar with leprechaunish glee.
I only got 6 guineas second hand, for your sake. You was the one that took the bomb.
Whose round is it now? How many Tommies did you spray upon?
My fucking husband's in the pub again.
How many boys are drowning in their blood who that very night had kissed their loving girls farewell?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
How many mothers' daughters got to face a shrapnel, lost an eye?
Fuck my fucking husband. Fuck it.
How many mothers doused the graves of kids of 18, wives and widows, chatting to a piece of earth? While you crock of gunnery and surge, wolf back another gallon, and lay home to your Bridget, alone and waiting with 6 kids, and unwashed, climb aboard, dragging across her fleshy wastes your skimpy, shredded, dirty prick. In about a bit, and come your dripping, watery spunk 10 seconds later. She lying there like a bloated cow, never known what coming is, only read about those soft explosions in the groin her room was like. The only explosions Paddy can make are the ones that make you scream in fucking agony and pain or wash in blood, not ecstasy and spunk. What a fucking obscenity that is. Fucking shit! My fucking husband is lying across the road, his legs on one side and his torso on the other. Oh, God help me. Maggot scratcher, hang the cunts, hang them slow, and let me take a skewer and jab their eyes out, lovely Greek style. Hanging is no answer to the plague, man. You'd be hanging every day. I mean, I'm human like us all. We're all the same. If you kick one, his scream will hit my ears and hurt my mind to think of some poor cunt in stuck. 3 Guinness. That's the answer. And sex instruction. Initiated by luscious, English birds, well trained in fucking suck. And then, instead of marching down the roads with weapons of war and little people on the side waving flags, they will march down with cocks at full alert and straining proud and strong, and probably get arrested. Still, they can't help it. They are drowned in aggro since a kid. Dad has fed between their flappy lugs, not love, but hate, has fed the history of ye old past to give them causes, something to do at night, has woven a tapestry of woe inflicted on him from some distant, foggy patch called the past. So what else can they do? Tired, sulky brain, washed in Guinness and laced in hate. I jumped into the bushes, and I watched the curly mob in a storm of dust go past. The palace was on alert. Finely chiseled chins of our brave and strong John English, ready to defend the Queen and all of her minions, who represent all that is fine on this drab slab of grey, this septic isle.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Preachers, heaven and heaven will be slaves.
I eventually got on a train. I found one whose carriage wasn't entirely smashed and wrecked. And I rode in peace to London's airport. Skid Row alone and reflective in my thoughts, except for some packing getting and kicking in the carriage. For some no doubt vile offense, like inadvertently catching the eye of some right gallant son of Tottenham. The kicking lent a rhythmic ritual to my thoughts, which were beginning to get formed. Shoot me on some mighty fine decisions that would send me on my path to riches and success, sweet-smelling pussy, golden arms, and lashing tongues. I fell into a kind of reverie. I fell asleep, and I dreamed I saw a dozen pussies on a bed, nestled between some soft and squeezy thighs, their sweet and ivory columns hanging loosely, open, revealing flowers in a garden that you water. And like a randy bee, I buzzed from one to the other. Their sweet and ivory columns hanging loosely, their gentle petals opening wide, sending forth their perfumes into the air. And as I left, they would close again, and then the next, and each one subtly different. Each like precious, luscious plants. Each like the hungry, open mouths of little birds. While I, like mother, into their open throats would drop my work, which hungrily and devouringly they would grasp. And then I woke, and I rudely saw the world just as it was. Set off on my adventures. Thrust all young and sweet into the seething, heaving heap of world in which I was just a little dog.
The airport.
British Airways, 939 now departing gate 2. British Airways, 939 now departing gate 2.
Oh, this confused me. I mean, who needs to go? Do I? Do you? He? I decided to stay. See my own sweet land. Amend the woes of my own fair state. Why split and scamper like ships leaving a sinking rat? I saw myself as king of the Western world. But since I needed some refreshment on my trials ahead, I ventured into this little cafe. Everywhere I looked, I witnessed this evidence.
The cafe.
One coffee, please, and croissant and butter.
Right. Crane.
Please. Where is the butter, so that I might spread it lavishly and feel its oily smoothness cover the jagged edges of the croissant?
Ain't got none in play.
serve me the croissant knowing you had no butter?
I'll get you something else.
I have a cheesecake. What's it like?
Our cheesecakes are all made from the nectar of the gods, mixed with the dexterous fingers of 100 virgins, who've all been whipped with bulrushes grown by the banks of the Ganges.
All right, I'll have one. She brings it. I have finished my coffee now, and I won't have anything to eat to chase the cake with.
Do you want another coffee?
I may not want, but must. I may not want, but have to. You took so long to bring the cake, and now I've finished the coffee, so bring another.
Okay.
But bring it before I finish the cheesecake, or I will have nothing to eat with my second cup, which I really only want as a matter for the cheesecake.
Okay, so you candy all over your dress.
Yeah. Oh, it was all thick and stringy and anxious to get off.
Yeah.
It was sucking me like a madman when my mum walked in.
No, what'd she say?
Don't forget to do behind her ears. She always forgets that.
I wish my mum was understanding like that. I was such a juicy cock for ages. Have you?
No, not really. Not a big, horny, stiff, thick, hot, pink one.
The biggest, you hear?
10 inches. Yeah, it was all gnarled like an oak with a great big knob on the end. And when it came, it shot out so much I could have wallpapered the dining room.
Where's my fucking coffee?
I have nearly finished the cheesecake, and then my whole purpose in life at this moment in time will be lost. I will be drinking hot coffee with nothing to wash it down with.
Here you are. Sorry, I forgot you.
It's about fucking time.
Oh, shut your mouth, you complaining heap of red shit.
I will come in your eyeballs, you putrefying piece of army gang bang.
Oh, you call Razor Garrett if I plastered me pussy all over your face. You impotent poot-a-bumble turd bandit.
What's the matter that you raise your voice like that, you punkin' scum? Fuck off.
Nobody talks to me like that.
I just did.
I will erase you from the face of the earth.
I'll cook you in a pie and serve you up for dessert.
I will rip you all to pieces. I will tear out your arms and legs. And I will feed them to the pigs.
I'll kick you to death, trample all over you, stab you with carving knives, and skin you alive!
Ha-twa! Crunch!
Hey! Stab. Jab.
Smash! Hit! Rip! Tear asunder! Render!
Numb. Jagged glass.
Gouge.
Chair! Break leg! Split! Fist! Splatter! Splosh! Crash! Explode! Scream! Fury! Strength! Overpower! Overcome! Cunt! Shit! Guilt! Remorse! Weakling! Not so heavy! Rupture in soil! Fleckle and crackle! Just from neck height! Caving! Rib splinter! Oh, the agony! The shrewd ice pick! Torn out! Eyes gouged! Strings pulled! Sockets snapped! Nails scraped! Bite! Swallow! Suck! Pull! More smash! More power! Weaker and weaker! Stronger and stronger! Weak! Power! Dying! Victor! That's it! Time!
You killed him. I never realized words can kill. You killed him.
I swear I didn't. He died of shock.
He was a good man. It was solid, except in his cock. But he was good to me. Now I'm alone. Who will I have to care for now? Who to wait for at night while he cleans up our cow, or while he's at the sauna getting relief? Who to cook for? Or brush the grease from his hat, or the dandruff from his coat, or the tram lines from his knickers? Who to comfort the long nights as he worries about me? Who will put the kids to bed with a gentle cuff as he frolics after coming home all pissed from the pub and smashes me jokingly on the mouth? Vomit will I clean up from the pillow as he heaves up all over my face on Friday nights after his binge? Whose black uniforms will I press in readiness for his watches down Brixton with the other so noble men of England? Whose will I dust in the living room of his heroes? Hitler, Enoch, Paisley, Maggot, girls, not forgetting our dear royals. Oh, is it worth it anymore? I married a good Englishman. Where will I find another like that? Don't see what you did. And all over stupid cheesecake.
Wars, my dear, have been far of a mess than that.
I'll never find another like him.
Yeah, you will.
Where?
Look no further, man, than this. Your spirits want me. Cast thy gaze to me, my face. And let thine eyes crawl slowly down. That is not a kosher salami I'm carrying. I'm just pleased to see ya. Sure, I can do like it. Polish my knuckle duster, clean my pants. I'll give you a right kicking with the bears if it's what you really want. You will have my set of proud photos to dust. I would rather treat you fair and square. Kiss your hair at night and touch your sleeping nose. I will not defile your pillow, but spread violets beneath your feet. And when we through rose gardens walk, I will blow the ashes from your hair. I will come straight home from work at night, not idle for a pint, and all of my spunk I will keep for thee, to lash you with as soft and warm as summer showers. I will leak no precious drop into the candle sauna for a fiver. Don't be long, dear, others waiting. And strew the silver load in these, to dart our precious streams. Your thighs I will prize apart, and sink like hot stone into butter, into an ocean of ecstasy. For that's what you are to me. I will turn you upside down and inside out. I am mad for you, you luscious brat, madam. Girl and woman turned into one. I will kiss your bumhole like it was the lips of cherubs. I will take you, love, for what you are.
Oh, you ease my pain, you sweet, lovely boy. I miss him desperately. But now I can, when looking at you, I hardly remember what he looks like. You look so familiar to me, though we've never met. So strange. Perhaps a true feeling love brings to your heart, the familiar twang.
I feel the same for you.
You remind me of someone or something.
What, Dougie?
And nothing.
No, confess, my dear, the quandary that does reach your brow, and make the nagging thought stay here at the way an Irish fart hangs in the air.
Tis nothing sweet but this. I had a kid. Just two he were. Sweet and blue-eyed, just like you, a darling. In one day. Disaster struck. And don't it just, an August tricked herself in for the day, all hot and stick with floss and smiling teeth and hankies, braces, stop off at Tower Pier, excitement, sandwiches and loads of fizzy Tizer.
That's strange, I love Tizer.
Then, 2 or 3 miles out, we hit a mine. It's smoke, so steeply up the Thames, like some almighty turd that won't go down no matter how often you flush the chain. It showed its scarred and rattled cheek from its longer phase on the choppy seas. Just by luck, as if the fates had ordained us to meet, it blew us to the moon. At least it made a hole so large that the Thames resembled Brighton on a broiling day, with heads a bobbing everywhere. My friend swam back, and I clung to a bit of raft. But little Tony, well, that was his fair name. He named it surface up again. I hope his end was quick.
There's no chance, my dear, that some local fisherman may have snatched him from the boiling sea?
No word. No sign, not even his little corpse to show. Well, I stuck around all night. And then, as the dawn arose, I saw his little oil-soaked teddy bear as if he'd dropped from inside the river's guts. It lay amidst the condoms on the Junkfield strand. I took it home and washed it.
That is a sad tale. I feel grieved for you, my dear. That woe should strike at one so young and fair, and leave others more deserving of fate's lash to get away with murder.
Fate never seems to give out where it's meant, but seems to pick it out as from a hat. Like bingo, and if your number's on it, boy, you've had it.
That little bear you mentioned, sweet. May I see the precious relic?
You really want to?
Yeah, let's have a butcher. It's strange. But very often I dreamed of such a thing. A little Rufus just like this. I never had one. And yet I seem to remember it as if my body knew the feel, whereas my mind could not. Ever since I've always liked soft, furry things. Come on. You've had your share of woe, and so have I. And if fate heaps the shit, it also heaps the gold. And finding you is like a vein I never dreamed of. I think we're fated, love, don't you?
Oh, I do, my precious. For once I bless the stars that this time has made me such a man. You've got the same eyes as my Tony. Green and shady like the sea.
Your eyes are like the sun on the sea, sparkling on the rocks so deep below, all blue and gold.
Your face is like all Greek and carved out of ancient marble.
Your body is as soft as puppies, strong as panthers.
Let's go to bed, my sweet.
Okay.
Do you think that it could happen? That the curse could come about? That Ed could kill his own dad and pop into his mother's pants? I had to kick him out.
That's something we'll never know, my dear, until the day when suddenly you'll see quite a different head than the one that's known to me.
You're right. Dead right. Oh, Dinah, what did we do that such a curse should be blasted on the heads of me and you?
Who knows what evil lies in store that we are unaware of? Did we cause some grief somewhere? Is this the money of Thor?
I've done nothing all my life. I've been an honest Joe. Shit on that fortune teller and a vile and evil joke.
Oh, it's funny that once we heard it did. It's funny that the second time, another face, years later, would sound the same old Lord wanting line.
Perhaps we should have told him. Perhaps we ought to tell. Our son should know the secret, or we may end up in,
What the hell you mean? Now you make me laugh. It's over now. It's past. Can't be undone with words. Fate makes us play the roles we're cast.
Which once was thought as normal. I made the city golden era time. The dopes just died away when faced with real octane, high-powered juice. Con men who have tricked you all the while with substitute and fishy watery soup went out of business, and people stopped for nourishment, brain food and guts. Just flocked to us. The fat-faced bastards you saw sitting on expense accounts and piles too long defy the needs of our uninviting hunger. Real food and drink, real substance for the soul. Not those decayed and spineless wonders who filled the land, strutting and farting pithy anecdotes at boring dinner parties on profits made by common sheep. They thought that they were the cream and not the sour yuck they really were. We showed them the way. They died in trying to keep up with us. They faded in a heap.
10 years have flown away as Apollo's chariot hath with fiery stride lit up our summers, thawed our frosts, and kissed our cheeks. 10 winters have the hoary bearded god of ice encased our earth in pinch-hard grip of chill, to be kicked out and turned by spring's swift feet of Sirius, Pluto, Dionysus, and April brooks do glisten, giggling over rocks and reeds, so pleased to be set free. 10 years, this splendid symphony of life hath played its varied song, hath saddened and elated, hath drawn the sap of life into the fiery poppy and frangipani, and gripped them in its autumn sleep again, whilst we, me man that is in me, for 3,364 times did celebrate our own ritual in nights of swooning.
While I, each day and year, have carved another niche into this world of ours, have moved about and jostled, cut a throat or two, metaphorically, of course, and shown how what this world doth crave is power, class, and form with a dab of genius now and then. We cure the plague by giving inspiration to our flames. We came rich by giving more and taking less. The old-style portion control practiced by fat thieves went out with us. We put the meat back in the sausage bank. Now once more the world will taste good. No more the sawdust and preservative coloring and cat shit that you could better use to fill your walls than line your stomachs, so foul that nations overseas ban them from their fair stalls and shops, lest their own fair youth should fall into the listless British tramp so often seen on Oxford Street or on the Piccadilly line at 8 a.m. A nation half asleep and drugged with foul and bestial things poured out of packets, masked up by operators who conspire with commies, thick in plot to weaken our defenses. They feed the nation shit and the mother's crud, and they watch them fall down in heaps upon the pavement, and then the cunning reds just blow them over shit like. But now, with our great chain, we energize the people. Give soul food and blistering blast of protein smack. Sandwiches the size of fists, chock full of juicy, smile-filled chunks. Now the nation staggers and blinks back to work on this. I mean, not fast. It takes a while to use those muscles starved so long, limp with only holding daily mirror race results, and eyes so dim from weekly charting of the pools. We will get them back to work. We will drag them out of the pot, their hands still gripping on the bar they know so well, like little babies reluctant to part with mother's tit. It's us that has to do it. Rid the nation of fat-faced bastards, clinging to their dark domain and keeping talent out, by filling the entrances with their swollen carcasses and sagging mediocrity. It's us that has to do it. Let's blow them all sky high! Or let us see them simply waste away as the millions come to us.
The plague is not quite over yet. This little plague around the city, darling, that will not go away, caused by some say some evil deed that has not purged itself, but continues to rot away inside the wholesome body of our state. People are dropping like flies, and armed killers snipe from the shadowed eyes of buildings, in death stalks in the foul and pestilent breath of friends whose eyes are drunk with envy and greed at your success. People shake your hand with thick grips as if afraid to catch it. The illness of inertia, and that should I, shan't I, the countries are washed in chemicals that suit the brain's dullness, to dull the dullness of grinding hits, long bored with ancient habit. And lovers are afraid to stroke each other's groins, lest new laws against the spreading of the plague outlaw them. Masturbating shops line every high street, and an pneumatic drill of strong right wrists ensure a girl fat lip. The countries are wash in spunk, not fresh in it. Sweetening the wounds of lovers, but crushed in Kleenex. Dead in cubicles with red lights. Meanwhile, men in white are penetrating the holy crucible, where life may have slipped in, and armed with scalpels and suction cups, tear out the living fruit and sluice it down the river of sewage. There's a future Einstein, Michelangelo, the future Eddie. Plasma of creation is swept and flushed away with gas. Don't! Inside the tender package is not yet fulfilled.
That's a plague at work, all right. There is something rotten in this city that will not die. The Sphinx, I read, stands outside the city walls, tormenting all the past, they say, and killing those who cannot answer her strange riddle. No doubt she helps to spread the disease and the rot, and yet no one can destroy her.
I've heard that too, and yet at will she can dissolve herself in air.
I will go and sort her out.
Be careful, darling. You are all I have.
Don't fret. I've come through the worst that fate can throw. I will come through this as well. Don't wait up. I may be late. If I'm not back by dawn, I'll meet you in heaven. And if not, we'll meet in hell.
riddle. The riddle of the Sphinx. Fuck off, you maggot, before I tear your head off. Rip your eyes out of your head and roast your tongue. You nothing. You man. You insults of nature. Go now, before I lose my cool.
I am not afraid of you, you old slag. You don't scare me, because Eddie don't scare you. I have beaten better than you in Singapore brothels. Why do you exist to kill men, you filth? Because you can't love? Loveless you can only terrify man? Who could ever love you? Who could even kiss that mouth of yours when your every breath reeks like a Hong Kong whorehouse when a flea is in?
You make me laugh, you fool man. You should know about brothels. They exist for you to prop up your last fading shreds. Men need killing off before they kill off the world.
You pollute the earth. Every step you take rots what's underneath. You turn the seas to dead lakes, and the crops dying are from the plague that is man.
You are the plague. Where are you looking? You should be looking at that ghastly vision in the mirror. The plague is inside you. You use your weapons to give you the strength that you lack. Oh, you enslave, whip, beat and oppress. Use your guns, chains, bombs, jets, napalm. Oh. You are so alone and pathetic. Love from you means enslave. Giving is taking. Love is fucking. Helping is exploiting. You need your mother. You motherfucker. To love is to enslave a woman. To turn her into a bearing cow to produce cannon fodder to go on killing. Can you ever stop your play? You're pathetic, unfinished, not like me, never like us. A woman, a sphinx. All women are sphinx.
I've taken the power for all.
I am the power.
I could eat you alive and blow you out in bubbles. I devour stuff like you.
Oh, send me strong men. You scrawny nothing. Look what they sent me. Mop-up hero, plastic movie watcher, idolizer of 1,000 westerns. Punk hero, flaccid man, macho pig, rapist, filth, and shit. Oh, nature's mistake in the ghastly dawn of time, when women were women, androgynous and whole, and could reproduce themselves. But somewhere and sometime, a reptile left our bodies. It crawled away and became man. And ever since, that reptile has been trying to crawl back, but we don't want you anymore. All we need is your foul little seed, you gnat. Something that takes you 30 seconds of your life, and us 9 months. We create, build, nourish, care for, grow bigger and fatter. Oh. And after, we suckle and provide. While you dig in the earth for treasure play your stupid male games. Go, you biped of dirt. Just a prick followed by a heap of filth. Sorry for you. I really do. I've eaten enough men this week, so go. Fuck off, stink scum. Dirt shit. Go! Plot and scheme, hurt, exploit and rape, oppress and wound. Make a few more evil laws, you shrivel of flesh. You poor, unreliable penis. You have not even our capacity for passion.
I could come 10 times to your wife. Right?
You are from my rib, mister. Me from you? What a joke.
Woman was that. She was the earth. Woman is in time. Woman is in the movement of the universe. Our bodies are made phases of
Our breasts swell and heave, and our rich blood surges forth to tell us we are part of the movement of the earth. What signs do you have? How do you know that you are even alive? Do you bleed? Do you feel the kicking in your womb? Does a mouth draw milk from your soft breast? Can you tell the future? Can you do anything? What signs do you have? A date with death? The hour you must attack? Unable to create, you must destroy? I am the earth. I am the movement of the universe. I am liquid and fire and all elements. My voice rises octaves high and communicates with the spirits of the dead.
My skin is soft and velvet, desirable to those with rough faces and bodies hard and muscled, to labor, to toil across the face of the earth for us.
The goddess of life. Women. We. Sex. Sphinx. The grand and majestic cunt. The great mouth of life. The dream of men in their aching and lonely nights. The eternal joy that men die for, and envy and emulate. What they sicken for, crave for, and go insane for. So go. You are small, insignificant. Fuck off, you one, before I tear your head off or pluck out your fingers. Go fuck yourself. Or stick a bomb up your fucking asshole, you heap of murdering bastard shit still. Go. You make me vomit.
Without me, you wouldn't exist. Without me, you're nothing. Without me, you are an empty, screaming hole.
You what? You think I need you? I need milk, but do I go to bed with a cow? I'll farm and fertilize you, and put you in pens where you will do no harm. Now go, boy. I am getting aroused. Be grateful that for some reason I feel for your pathetic attempts at heroism.
I want to answer your riddle.
Then you must know that those that can't answer it die. And then if you can't, I will kill you. I will tear off your cock with my teeth before I eat you up.
With pleasure. And if I answer it, what do I gain?
You're a brave little fox. So here goes, ladies. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs in the evening?
Man! In the morning of his life, he is on 4 legs. In the afternoon, when he is young, he walks on 2 legs. And in the evening, when he is erect for his woman, he sprouts a 3rd leg.
You bastard! You've used trickery to figure out the answer.
No, just reason. All right. Sorry to have to do this. I was growing quite fond of you.
Oh, I don't care. To tell you the truth, I was getting rather bored of being a Sphinx and scaring everyone to death. Okay. Cut it off. Get it over with.
She would put you off women for life. But not me. No, I love a woman. I love her. I love and I love and I love her. And even that one. I could have loved her. I love everything that they possess. I love all of their parts. I love everything that moves. I love their hair and their neck. I love the way they walk across the kitchen to put the kettle on in that lazy, familiar way. I love them when they open their eyes in the morning. And I love their baby soft skin and their voices and their smaller hands in mine. I love lying on them and them on me. I love their eyelashes and their noses, their teeth, their shoulders, their giggles, their desperate passions, their liquids, the breath against yours in the night, and their leg across yours, and their feet in the morning. And I love their bellies and their thighs, and I love the way each part fits into mine. And I love the way my part fits into them. And I love their seasons, and their sleeping, and their walking, and their whispering, and speaking, and loving. And I love their back, and I love their bum nestled into you, and you become an armchair. And I love her for taking me in, and giving me a home for my searing agonies, my lusts, my love, my sweetness, my honey, and love, pouring all of my love into her with open eyes. And I love her fatigue, and I love her pimples, and her shoulder blades, and her knees. And I love her waiting for me. And I love her soothing me. And I tell her about my big battles in the world, and I love and love and love her.
Well done, me sweet. Now all will be well. Me brave and shining knight. Yes, you are me lion, and I'm your mate. Me brave and gentle lion. And now, to celebrate, let's have the dear old ma and pa to die. To reconcile the fairy tales and woes of the past. And be all doing nice together in
up together in council bliss, and £40 a week, driving at 38 from Putney down to Waltham Cross, and getting clobbered on Saturday night.
And invite them over in to share just once our coloured TV. Hi-fi home movie showing us in fair Ibiza and thieves of you diving in the bright blue cobalt sea. Your sparkling new cat teeth all smiling in the brilliant sun. Invite them to partake of our deep leather sofas, succulent wines. Show our video that records those programs that you wish to view when after working late at night in selfless graft, you sit with dog and slipper at your feet. Let them enjoy the comforts of central heated bathroom. No more the cold arse on a plastic seat, but wall covered and pipes all steaming hot, upstairs, thick gloved in piles so soft that each treads like a luscious meadow. Would they not like a slumber down, or even our soft water bed, which thrusts our pelvises so sweetly swished together? Needlepoint. Show your mum the joys of kitchen instant disposal waste. No more washing up, just time to enjoy our super apple pie.
I'll send a chauffeur down to pick him up. That is, if my dad has rid himself of that old hoary myth that like a louse ate inside his nut, to tell him of horrid incest and patricide, a subtitle could be called The Story of a Motherfucker. The tale for kittywinks to send them mad to bed and cringe at shadows in the night, and in their later years, to bung good gelt to the Sphinx in Harley Street.
When you told me that story, and I could not believe that grown-ups still could set such store by greasy gypsies in a booth. And to kick you out, oh, young and pink, while you were still wet behind the log. Maybe it was a ruse to get you out of the nest.
Ah, who knows, my dear, the wily minds of cruddy mums and dads whose heads chock full of TV swill. So what? You put me on the diving board young and lively, and I learned how to jackknife into the surging tide with all the best.
You're tough. That's what, my love. You're a survivor. In a swilling mass of teeth and knives and desperate eyes, all anxious to carve out their pound of flesh. You did it, and you're still acute. You're still lovely brown and svelte. The success is not punched you or stuck a fat horse on your hips, or burnt an ulcer in your gut, or made your mouth a stinking ashtray where fat cigars hang on like a turd that cannot be expelled but hangs on till the end. And you're sweet. And a honey breath. Your tongue's not coated with the slime of 10-course meal, taken with other con artists to flash their gaudy rings and Vicky's pig shit wives who sit at home and wank or play some bridge with other dozy bags whose only exercise is stretching out an arm to screech out, "Taxi!" outside Harry's. Your body's like a river. Flowing into me. It moves like a flowing river. Your streaming muscles carry me along your river, along your soft and hard and flowing river. When I'm in your arms, I'm carried along this endless stream. And then I reach the sea. I'm swept up by your sea. I'm carried by a wave. I'm perched up in your wave. It's set down, only to be regathered up as your volcanic wave gathers me as a piece of ocean. As your sweet, lustful pangs gather up its morsel. I'm swept up. I'm gathered up. I'm sucked up and spun on the raging I love your fingers. Round and round. Tearing and gripping and finding and searching and twisting. Gathering me for your sweet lustful pangs. And then, your body's like a tree. Like branches twisting and breaking. Like a wave. Like a wind. Like an animal, like a lion. Ferocious. Sweet lustful pangs grow bigger, darling. As they grow bigger to make your sweet spunk flow. As they grow bigger. And the lion's breath is hot. And the grip on me is growing tight and more ferocious. And then I know that you tremble, you shake, you quiver, you shake, you thrash. Oh! The river flows. Oh! It flows. Oh! It flows through me. As you tremble, you quiver, you shock into me. In the wet and warm and succulent flow, you turn me into a blow, and you flood me. In the trembling, in the quivering, in the shaking, softly, softly, softly goes, as the storm slowly passes, slowly, slowly rumbling into the distance, and the breath is less hot, but soft and silky and sweat on your back, and silky on your thighs, and soft and warm between our thighs. Oh, life, my love. Oh, love, my precious. Oh, sweet, my honey. Oh, heaven, my angel. Oh, darling, my husband.
Ow! It's noise! It's off, my darling wife. What noise is that?
It must be my cruddy mum and dad, who interrupt your lovely flow of cold-rich, thick, and pearly birth, and send my blood racing in my groin so that I might manufacture lovely time.
Oh! The girlie's gone on! You really got on well, son! I'm proud of you! He's got class and qualities drawn from me!
Come people! He's not moving in long. Not this wet fart that calls himself his dad.
Don't talk like that in front of Eddie's wife! You slopping, titted, slack-ass look! You raving, scrawny, dried-up witch!
Don't talk to me about my body. Age isn't muscle beauty, but you will need cremating, since your poison flesh will cause pollution in the air and make widespread crop failures. You're dead on 2 varicose legs and a hernia belt.
I've got no words for you, Doc. Since you were gangbanged by that bunch of drunken darkies, doesn't it work if I count it right? Whose swollen truncheons flash their golden sprints of foam into the sulphurous and heavy night? Since that bad time, you've not been quite right in your old bones. Hello, John! Hello, Robert. Good to see you again.
Oh, Eddie's lovely, just lovely. Oh, and this is your lovely wife. Oh, she's lovely. Oh, she's nice. Well, thank you. I think you're very charming yourself. Oh, you are nice. Have a nice day. You're welcome. Oh, please, feel free. Make yourself at home. How very nice to meet you. Have you had a good journey? How's everyone at home? Isn't the weather cold now? It will soon be winter. You're looking so young. You really look well. You've lost weight. Are you going away this summer? Do you use Fevlon in your kitchen? Oh, you were lovely, It's just lovely. Some people are lucky. Some people get to know him, he's just lovely. Have you been away this year? What an orthodox fact, dear.
So what is the news, my folks? My flesh and blood chip off the old dappily. Say, what goes on in my old neighborhood where once rank violence stalked the dirty streets and filthy yobbos hung around the corners of old pubs like flies on dead carrion? Can you still walk the streets at night? Or do you macaroni in your pants at every shadow that stops out, lest it be some MacDougal out to line his coat with others' hard-earned guilt? Around this manor, there is peace, my folks. Move out of that council flat where urchins pissed us, spray the lift that takes you to your eyrie on the 25th floor, and move in with us! Or do you still fear that hoary old myth? That bunch of gypsy bollocks that you so avidly did go, though methinks secretly that was a ruse to get me out of the home. Save yourself some loot. You always said I'd eat you out of house and home. Around here, only the poodles drop their well-turned turds in little piles so neat, and au-pair girls go pushing little Jeremys down the green and flowery parks. No ice cream vans come screaming around this manor. There's peace, my folks. So come and stay. You're welcome. And bring the cat as well. You've always got room for Moggy.
No, son. What thanks? A double talk. Oh, you're very kind to us. How thoughtful. Bless you. You're welcome. Have a nice day. But we're used to what we got. Can you teach an old dog new tricks? A bit long in the tooth. You're as old as you feel. And I feel like a worn-out old fox. We know all the familiar faces. Our rotten neighbours, the geese who flex the payments on the fridge and on the telly each week, Meals on Wheels, that daily calls now that we're getting older, all familiar trappings that have trapped us. Now that my useful working life has been sucked dry by the state, we get that security and some pension for which I sign. Now that my boss, God bless him, sits back fat and greasy, not that I mind, he got it by hard graft and cutting. He gave me 50 quid when I retired, and some, and a watch with 15 jewels. Right proud I was. So what, I got asbestos in me lungs. So what, I got coal dust in me blood. So what, I got lead poisoning in me brain. So what, I got shot nerves from the machines. So what, I lost 2 fingers in the press. So what, I'm going deaf from the steel mills. So what, I lost a lung for old King in Dunkirk. I do it again. I would, I tell you. So what, I got fuck all for it from our fair state. So what, they come flying past in their Rolls Royces and their fat little kids come tumbling out on piggy little legs. So what, they thieve and murder and get away with it. So what, our lovely royals pay no tax. They're figureheads, mate. So what, I starve waiting for your check, which sometimes you forget to send if you're busy entertaining and you forget your old ma and pa, son.
Oh, don't listen. He's gone off a bit in the nuts since they retired him. All he does is grows and quail. When you complain, remember others worse off than you. I think of others, whose sweet fruit are their most only wounds, whose precious sacks of giggling joy are snatched by sex-mad fiends. They stalk around town. There's so many around. You can all pick up the daily snort picker these days without looking between the tits and the race results to see the photos of the burns and scalds and broken limbs. Now one is burned while faggots, others punched black and blue. Screams in the night, and neighbours too scared or too fastened to a wide 5-0 to receive the bloody cries that stab through the open walls with an open hand, saying, "Help me." Mothers, babies with broken hips, with little ribs all smashed by dads who have caught the plague that cements their heads and puts vitriol inside their arms. Others chained to their beds for hours at a time, and others crawling in shit and piss, and whacking some goes mom, and splatter backhand crack goes dad. One kid's nipples almost fell. Oh, dad, who picked up his small ensign and smashed his head against the wall until his brain seeped out. What dreams did that poor kid have as his grey thoughts ran down the wallpaper? And then the judge says, "Won't you go? You're basically a good character." And he's off to celebrate
nothing like that to me. You only gave me swallows of loving love and jam and spoilers and storytelling. You only gave me 10 slices of toast every morning and Marmite after school. And like those kids whose shoes have a long way to go, I was put on a path of bliss. The jammy mouth and sticky donut fingers. The dad who put me on the crossbar of his bike and never once sought to introduce the back of his hand above all, or not once sought to vent some filthy taste for coloring my flesh in chartreuse green or bruisey blue.
You were loved, son. We loved you, kid. You know, like open hands, gripping your shoulders and a tight squeeze at the end, foaming your head and ruffling your hair, a clenched fist and a slow tap on the chin, like chin up when you didn't pass your 11 plus because you were a dummy. I didn't want you to hate us.
Hate? I never use that word with my folks. Only pocket money each week, $5 bob, and Saturday morning flicks. Do you mean to say that you loved me because you were afraid of that old curse? Because that bunch of gypsy bullocks rang in your ears, let's spoil him with storytelling and cuddling so that he won't want to hurt his old dad? You make me laugh. You would love me to sing without that old curse. I'm your flesh and blood. It's natural.
But you're not our son, son.
All right. Give up the din. Spill your guts. Open your north and south and let roll the turd before I pony my wife runs. Open your gate hole and let up, not your son. Oh, fudge and crackle.
Don't say that he ain't your real produce of your blood, sweat, boys. Not shoved up your guts in warm, sticky afterbirth. Oh, the sparkle in his dad's eye in the glitter night, when his pa heaved upon his woman's limbs and unloaded a bin full of hot stock. Not either like a lodestone, or a star, or a jewel in the corner of his eye. Not braved hard or pulse-raced to produce this super delicious, wondrous, beefy, dull and spunky guy. See ya, walking from behind and wanted to grasp your ass and deliver the maid up your wet and wondrous letterbox. Nah, afraid not. Oh, what?
Who gives a monkey's taste? Who cares if I'm adopted? Like this it was.
I was fishing. On a peaceful Sunday. You were fished out. What a find! What I prayed for! A son! Through my line, the big steamer's going out the south end, the old Tower Bridge opening up to allow the steamers funnels through, like some big lazy East End tart from Cable Street opening her thighs. On the deck, in the sun, the people of Bow, Whitechapel and Islington all in their cheese cutters and chokers all doing a bit of a dance on the deck. The streamers flickering, the Guinness pouring, us waving from the shore as the steamer cuts through the stormy old Thames and sends the swell over to us that makes our little boats near and bob. When, all of a sudden, the sun's up high, Hitler just topped himself, Churchill's in command, there's peace at last, 20 million dead, including my 2 boys, and the radio plays we'll meet again. And Mercy Dokes and Dulcie Dokes and little lambs could I be, you remember? When all of a sudden, in the hot August afternoon, no bananas in the shops and coupons for 4 ounces of sweets each week. Pictures of Auschwitz just come out. thousands of bodies like spaghetti, all entwined, all done in the name of Adolf. And all of a sudden, in the hot, blue day, they're all swimming. Look at them. The sky turned black. Oh, what a terrific hell of a bang. And soot is dropping all over us, plus bits of people. Oh, all the fish dropped dead from the shock. Hey! Let's slap them out! Come on, mate! I'll pull you in! We pulled them in all night. The others just bloated up like funfair bricks. Come on, Mom! Don't fret. Here, have a cuppa. Where's the little Johnny? Oh, now, he'll be all right. Can he swim? No? Oh, well, we'll find him. Well, lads, we'll find the little bleeder. Hey, Bud! Shine your torch over here. There's an old lady. Yes, here. Give us your hand, love. I'll pull you in. Oh, no! It's just a stump. She left me in the water. What bastard started all this shit? More tea! More blankets! There's not enough of us! There's not enough people to help! What does this to people? What sick and perverted bastard started all this shit? If he was in front of me, I'd take a butcher's fucking knife and carve him, slowly, bit by fucking dirty piece, and feed him to the river rats, and then he'd cunt that supports him. When all had gone, and the dawn arose, we saw what seemed to be a little doll clinging to a piece of wood. Put on a closer butchering, revealed a little bugger of about 2 we were, struggling like the fuck and dripping in his other paw, greasy old bear. Oh, we threw the bear back in the water and pulled him out, all dripping wet and covered in oil, looking like a darky so. Oh, no one about. We took him out and washed him up. He was abused, and Mom was double chuffed to see a little ball of soft, warm goo-goo.
Don't want to give him up,
Quote Dinah.
must we?
She said, no, I said his mom will think he's dead anyways, so let her go on thinking it.
But think,
Well, Dinah rightly slurps.
although its real mom will fret and pine and waste away, and mourn for the sweet, soft, lovely flesh of her own.
All right. We'll keep him for 1 day, and 1 day only. Well, the day turned into 2, and then after a week, we thought the shock now would be too great and that its real mom would be adjusted to a sad loss.
Oh, shit. And pissed and fucked. I just pissed in my pants.
Well, we thought the curse was for stealing you from your real mom, and that you'd revenge yourself on us if you somehow found out. And when we heard the curse a second time, we thought, it's time for you to go. Tonight, I had to tell you, because it's choking on me tits.
Get it off your chest.
Quote, Mom.
He's big enough.
My dearest wife. And now my mum. It seems this lady is the very one whose baby you smashed. She told me the self-same and bitter tale of how she lost her Tony. And if you found him, then I am he. He whom you found that belonged to her was me. He whom you stole and gave to her that once belonged to she. Nice to see you. Have a nice day. So, I am the squelchy mass of flesh that issued stone that was best left with all those horrid, black, and runny things left intact and not nibbling on my brain! So, the man that I voted today, my real pop, the man to whom my words, like hard-edged shrapnel, raised his brain, was the source of me. Oh, stink-eyed brick-cracker and shadow! Who loves me? Who wants to clean up the city? Stop the plague, destroy the Sphinx. Me was the source of all the stink. The man of principle is a motherfucker. No more will I taste the sweetness of my dear wife's pillow. No more. No more! So I left the cozy and love-filled niche, now so full of horror. Foul incest and babies on the way, which if they come, will no doubt turn into six-fingered horrors with two heads. Oh, poor Eddie. This madness twisting in my brain. I walk the playground streets. I witness the old and the broken. The funny faces staring at the dead vinyl flats, flickering shadows of the TV tube. I sat in cafes, and I thought of my lovely, desirable, succulent, and honey-filled wife. And as I sat and stared at the roomy faces and the dead souls with their real wives who were plastered forever in casts of drab compromise, my own wife seemed like a princess. I fastened her face on the horizon like the rising moon, and I sat and stared forever into space. And when the cafe closed, I sat and stared forever and ever. I projected her picture on the moon. I poured through every page of our life together, like a great and holy Bible of magic events. And then the moon turned as red as blood. And the clouds raced across her face and became her hair, and then her eyes, and the wind blew her hair like it did when we walked through the fields and the forests. When the trees shivered, and the sun kissed us, and the universe wrapped us around in a cloak of stars and rain and ice creams and crushed grass and teas and clenched fingers. Hold on to me. Hold on to me, and I will hold on to you and never let you go. Hold on to me. Does it matter that you are my mother? I will love you even if I am your son. Do we cause each other pain? Do we kill each other? Do we maim and kill? Do we inflict vicious wounds? No! We only love. So it doesn't matter, mother. Mother, it doesn't matter. Why should I tear my eyes out Greek style? Why should you kill yourself? Have you seen a child from a mother and son? No. Have I? Oh, no. Well, then how do we know that it's bad? Should I be so mortified? Who, me? With my nails and fingers, tear in and gouge out those warm and tender balls of jelly quivering dipped in blood? Oedipus, how could you have done it? Never to see your wife's golden face again. Never to cast your eyes on her eyes and hers on your eyes. It is a foul thing that I've done. Tear them out, Eddie! Rip them out! Scoop them out like ice cream. Pull them to the ends of the strings and then snap. Darkness falls. Bollocks to all that. I'd rather run all the way back. Pull back the sheets and witness my golden body white and climb back into a sanctuary. Climb back inside and hide away there and be safe and comforted. Yeah, I want to climb back inside my mom. What's the matter with it? It's better than shoving a stick of dynamite up someone's ass and getting a medal for it. It is love I feel. It is love I feel for your breast, for your nipple twice sucked, for your hands twice caressed, for your belly twice known, for your thighs, for your cunt twice known, once head first, once cock first. Loving cunt, holy mother, wife, loving source of your being. Exit from paradise.